Hello, and welcome to the Worst Movie Podcast. I'm Ade.
And I'm Aaron, and this is a podcast where we watch the worst movies ever made in the hopes of finding a hidden gem. And this week, both of our parts will be played by Adam Sandler.
Enjoy.
Is there anything else you've been watching lately?
Yeah, I just finished season 5 of Slow Horses. Have you watched Slow Horses at all?
I've never even heard of it. What is this?
You've definitely heard of it. I feel like we've talked about it before. It's a British spy thriller starring Gary Oldman and on Apple TV.
No, we've never talked about this.
Anyway, you should.
Spy?
It's basically follows this group of spies that are part of MI6, and they're kind of castaways. They're basically people within the agency that have screwed up at some point. Essentially, MI6 doesn't want to fire them or can't fire them, and so they put them in this, like, what's the opposite of an elite unit? It's like the bottom.
The remedial unit?
Yeah, it's a bunch of misfits. And Gary Oldman plays the leader of this group of misfits. And
what era is it set in? Like,
it's
modern?
Modern times, yeah. And they stop terrorist attacks, and spoiler alert, they do heroic things, but never really quite get the credit.
They find the eliteness within themselves.
Kind of, sometimes accidental. It's really funny. It's not a comedy per se, but it's more of a drama. But it's really easy watch. I mean, it's like 30-minute episodes, and you could probably binge watch it in a week. Knowing you, I have confidence.
That would require me to get Apple TV, though.
Oh yeah, well, it's worth it. And you can do a free trial.
I have a weeks-long standing beef with Apple now, since I've heard about the iPhone Pocket.
What's your beef? Just that they launched it?
Yeah, that they allowed this to happen on their watch.
I'm sure Tim Cook is eagerly listening to this podcast, trying to think of ways that he can appease your rage.
Surely he's gotten some of my letters by now.
Yeah, I'm sure. Should we dig into today's movie?
Sure. Jack and Jill.
Yes, Jack and Jill from 2011. We're in a new month, and this month is Horrible Holidays. So happy holidays. We're going to watch some of the worst holiday movies ever made. So Jack and Jill, starring Adam Sandler in the 2 lead parts and co-starring Al Pacino and Katie Holmes. I found this streaming on Pluto TV for free. 3% Rotten Tomatoes. It had a $79 million budget, which, by the way, what do you think they spent that money on? Like, that's a lot of money for this movie.
I think cameos, maybe.
Probably. Adam's salary.
Yeah, probably.
You think he got double for playing 2 parts?
I don't know. I do kind of wonder about that.
He's like, I'm working twice as hard on this movie, so pay me more. So $79 million budget, and it made $149 million at the box office. We'll talk a little bit more about kind of the business model around this Sandler era, but clearly doing well.
Yes.
So had you heard about this movie before?
I knew it existed. I remember when it came out, but I think this was, at least for me, and I wonder if society as a whole was kind of growing tired of Adam Sandler at this time. But I was definitely like not that interested in going to see the latest Sandler movie when it came out. So I've never seen it.
Yeah. I'd never seen it either. It wasn't on my radar. I feel like I vaguely knew what it was about, but if you quizzed me about what Oscar-winning actor co-starred in this, it probably would have. I don't think I would have gotten to Al Pacino in 10 guesses.
Me either. That was a surprise for me.
It was even a surprise to me as I was watching it. They mention him early in the movie, and I'm like, oh, maybe he'll just get a cameo.
He's a big part of it.
Yeah, the more he was in it, the more I was like, really? But I'm sure we'll get to that more.
Did you see what he said about this movie?
Yes. Well, I saw something he said about this movie. What did you see?
He said that it came at a time in my life that I needed it because it was after I found out I had no more money. My
Yeah.
accountant was in prison and I needed something quickly, so I took it.
Yeah, I saw that quote. That explained a lot for me about why he was in this.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, so a little bit about this era of Sandler. So he had done a multi-picture movie deal with Sony, and basically they just figured out that I mean he was such a bankable star during this era that they had a strategy of making family friendly, like quick, easy, relatively cheap comedies and borrowed a lot of the same plots and themes and just kind of slapped them together. Sandler was even quoted as saying that he mostly picked the movies and the I guess production schedule, designing it around places his family wanted to visit and locations where him and his friends could hang out and have easy fun shooting schedules.
Yeah. The man's a genius.
Yeah, I mean, it worked like
Yeah.
really well. I
Good
mean,
for
this
him.
movie's a good example where they they go on a cruise. It really has nothing to do with the plot. Like clearly they just wanted to spend time on this cruise.
Yeah.
And then part of it shot, do you think it was on location in Spain?
I think it was.
I mean, again, no reason why it had to have been in Spain. It could easily the whole thing could have just been taking place around LA.
Yeah, there's this whole plot line where they're going on a cruise and he's trying to set his sister Jill up with Al Pacino, and it completely felt tacked on. It was so unnecessary that it was on a cruise in Spain.
Yeah, great business model. This movie actually kind of started the end of that chapter, I think. Like basically a bunch of movies before this followed that formula of, exotic locations, vacation movies essentially. And then this was the first one where it was just like it did well at the box office, but then it was reviewed so poorly that the movies after this kind of started to fail at the box office.
Yeah.
And after a few years, he signed a big deal with Netflix, and Netflix was basically like, this formula works. We don't care about box office success. And so he continued that run at Netflix. But this movie broke all sorts of records at the Razzies. There are 10 categories at the Razzies. It was nominated for 12 Razzies.
In all 10 categories.
Yeah, in all 10 categories. It became the first movie to sweep the Razzies, winning in every single category.
I think that this all says much more about the Adam Sandler fatigue of the time than it does about the movie itself.
Well, we'll get into that. So, what did you think about this movie? Did you think it deserved the Razzies?
No, not at all.
You're wrong. Let's end the episode right now.
I laughed out loud so much at this movie.
Are you serious? You're trolling me.
No, I'm completely serious. I don't think that this is a good movie. So I watched this with my brother John, and his quote was, "It's not cinema, but it has its moments." where it's a dumb movie. It's really dumb. But if Adam Sandler is, in your wheelhouse for sense of humor, you're going to like parts of this movie. There are parts that are actually really funny. I almost cried at the end from laughing.
What? Okay. We could not be further apart. I don't think I laughed once. I don't even know that I smiled, to be honest. Like, I'd have to, maybe as we go through my notes, like there's there were a couple times that I was like, that's a clever, no, that's even overstating. Clever is too strong a word. The only thing that I thought was kind of funny, I didn't chuckle, was when the twins described themselves as womb mates, as a pun for roommates, and
I hated that actually.
I internally chuckled, but that's as far as I'll go.
I don't know. I thought it was hilarious. I thought that the The homeless guy at the beginning was really funny.
Oh my gosh. Oh, wait, all right. Before why don't you give the premise of the movie and then we can kind of go through it blow by blow. Maybe you can convince me that some things are funny.
Okay. So Adam Sandler plays both characters, Jack and Jill. They're twins. Jack is Jack Saddlestein, I think is how it was. I don't remember. He's an advertising executive in LA. Jill is his sister, who I think still lives in the Bronx. She comes into town into LA for the holidays, Thanksgiving, and kind of just refuses to leave. And she is like well-meaning but chaos and completely disrupts Jack's life during the holidays, during which he is trying to sign Al Pacino to do a Dunkin' Donuts commercial. And Al Pacino falls in love with Jill, his sister, also Adam Sandler.
So, okay, I guess let's talk about the premise. I mean,
flawless.
I guess for
I have no notes.
The story premise is fine. Like, I mean, it seems like you could go any sort of directions and create comedy gold out of, weird sibling comes and ruins Thanksgiving. I guess I felt like the setup of the movie was, hey, Adam Sandler is going to play the part of a woman and he's going to wear a dress the whole time and put on makeup. And boy, isn't that funny.
Yeah.
And I felt like they kind of stopped there. And maybe for me, I was like, well, we kind of need more. And so much of it just played like, haha, look how ugly Adam Sandler is as a woman. No? I mean, I'm clearly we're on opposite sides of this.
Yeah, I do. So I do think that there was some of playing to like, oh, look at how muscular this woman is or whatever. Like there were some jokes about the appearance of Adam Sandler as a woman, but I don't think that that was all of, like most of the parts I laughed at weren't jokes about Adam Sandler's physique as a woman.
I feel like most of the jokes tried to use that as a foundation. And Adam Sandler isn't really that muscular of a guy, or, no. And I mean, yes, he was a unattractive woman, but it's not like, I mean, if you got like The Rock playing his twin sister, you'd be like, wow, why is his twin sister so jacked?
Yeah.
And you could probably make more humorous things, or I don't know, like, I don't know, Willem Dafoe is a woman. Like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of who would be the ugliest actor to see as a woman. Al Pacino as a woman would be far less attractive than Adam Sandler's a woman. I don't know. It just didn't play at all for me.
I think this was like during the Clumps period where they were trying to have actors play multiple roles, and they were just like, I don't know, make it a twin sister.
Yeah, I mean, part of what I was looking back at like some other movies and thinking, was this just a thing for a long time of like, haha, look at man in a dress and that's enough for humor, and maybe
white chicks.
Yeah.
Did it?
But I think most of the good ones had other things with it, like Mrs. Doubtfire and Nutty Professor, and I don't know.
I think you're just like glossing over the fact that Al Pacino handed in an incredible performance in this movie. He was by far the best part of this movie.
Okay, I mean, let's spend some time talking about Al Pacino. I think he did okay for
get out of here,
just terrible material. I guess the whole time he was on screen, I was like, why are you on screen? I mean, maybe it would have helped if I read that quote before I watched the movie and be like, okay, Al Pacino was broke, so he did this for the paycheck. And he was just like, I'm Al Pacino, so I'm going to take it to 11.
I did know that going in, so maybe that colored my perspective of it.
But I didn't understand his storyline at all. So the whole thing, like you said, he's fallen in love with Jill because she's also from the Bronx. I mean,
yeah. So
I haven't looked this up, but there are millions of women from the Bronx.
I know. One of my notes was like, is his entire interest in her that she's from the Bronx?
I mean, that's what it seems like. There was no chemistry. She's not into him at all.
He wasn't into her for her. He was into her for what she would bring out of him. And he needed that like Bronx personality because he was trying to get into this other role that he had been offered. And he needed to like bring out a part of himself. And he felt like she could do that for him.
I mean, I didn't get that at all. Like he mentioned, he turned
talked
down the
about it at
part.
the end.
Well, and he mentioned something at the beginning about turning down Man of La Mancha. Is that the name of the play? Do you know anything about that play?
Not really. I mean, I
have
know
no idea
basically what he explained in it.
What is the Venn diagram of people who are watching Jack and Jill and understand the nuances of what you need to bring out to lead to play the lead in Man of La Mancha?
Yeah, I don't know. It's probably pretty slim.
I had no idea why he was into Jill. I mean, I don't know. I mean, even in the movie, Jill's like, or Jack, I guess, says, well, actually, it was Jack playing Jill, was like, you could have any woman you want, like, why me? And I was just like, yeah, the movie is self-aware that this doesn't even make sense.
I mean, I think that the movie was self-aware the whole time, and that's what made it funny to me, especially like the ending. The ending was extremely self-aware that it was like, this is stupid.
I mean, you're right, but because I think the part I appreciated the most was the very end when Al Pacino's watching the Dunkachino commercial
Burn
and
this.
he says, "Burn this. All copies must be destroyed. Nobody can ever watch this." And I was like, yes, they should have done that with this film. It was so terrible.
I laughed so hard at that part that I was nearly in tears because it was so true. The whole time I was watching it, I was like, oh my God, this is so bad. And they're going to leave this in the movie. And then it cuts to him and his first words are burn this.
I mean,
like it knows it's stupid.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have 8 things written down where I laughed out loud during this movie.
All right, let's go through them one by one.
I laughed out loud at his kid punching Jill in the face at Thanksgiving dinner.
What was the deal with that kid? Like, why was he taping? So the kid's just randomly taping stuff to his body.
Yeah, I don't know.
And did you laugh at that?
No.
I was just like, why? What is happening here?
It's
like that could have been funny. And then the kid also, I think he's like 6 or 7 years old. He seems to be very aware of all the hijinks that Jax is getting into, and like has all these knowing lines of, "Is that where you're gonna wear in hell?" or whatever. Like when he's trying to trick his sister.
Yeah, clearly a kid written by an adult who thought they were funny.
By the way, this isn't my alt pick, but that kid was in Bad Words with Jason Bateman. Did you ever see that? Where Jason,
I did.
I thought that kid was awesome in that.
That's the Spelling Bee movie, right?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. That was a good movie.
Okay, so you laughed at the kid punching. That was just a random. I don't know. Okay, fine. Yeah. Next one.
It was unexpected, which made me laugh. And then when the homeless guy was at Thanksgiving dinner with them, and he said, "You know what? This is awkward. I'm gonna go," and he just got up and left Thanksgiving dinner because it was horribly awkward. See, those are the jokes that I'm like, this is self-aware that it knows that this is.
Why did they invite a homeless guy to Thanksgiving? I
don't know.
I didn't catch that at all. I was just like, I don't know. And he was just sleeping in their backyard. Did they know him?
I don't know. He was homeless. He was just sleeping wherever he was. Was he played by the guy that was in Grandma's Boy?
I don't remember that movie well enough.
You don't know Grandma's Boy?
No.
Let me look him up really quick. Alan Covert. Was he in the? Yeah, he was. He was the homeless guy. Otto.
That's a deep cut there.
I feel like he plays roles in a lot of Adam Sandler movies.
I mean, I think Adam Sandler's whole shtick, especially during this era, is just people that I like, and we'll just find a role. I mean, this is probably a good example of he was like, "Oh, we don't have a role for," what'd you say his name is? Adam? Like
Alan Covert.
Alan, yeah. Hey, how about Alan just comes to Thanksgiving and
plays a homeless guy?
Like, oh, you don't even have to cut your hair out. Like, let's just write you as a homeless guy.
Yeah, and my in my notes I put, is the joke that he's homeless? Like, is that the whole?
I mean, exactly. I'm like, this feels borderline offensive. Like, what are we supposed to just
Oh,
laugh at me? Like, oh, this guy's homeless. Like, that's why he's funny.
there's a lot of borderline, if not overtly offensive jokes in this.
Yeah, I mean, that's.
There's a lot of race jokes in this movie that I was uncomfortable with.
I mean, I felt really. I mean, this is skipping way ahead, but I felt really uncomfortable with the gardener
Oh yeah.
overall, and then like especially that picnic. I'm like, this is not right. This is yeah. I felt uncomfortable.
Yeah, the picnic was definitely racist. I was like, did any women or Hispanics write on this movie?
I mean,
Because if they didn't, this is offensive.
oh yeah,
If
yeah.
this is just Adam Sandler and his white buddies writing these jokes about Mexicans and Indians and women,
I mean, that's my
it's a
guess.
little offensive. Yeah.
Yeah, it was offensive and not funny. The lethal combination.
Yeah, I didn't have any laugh out loud moments at the picnic. I was super weirded out by the grandma character that
Yeah,
was making terrifying faces at the
I
camera and then died, and then they brought her back by stuffing peppers in her mouth.
yeah. Several times they revived her by stuffing jalapenos in her mouth, and they're just like, what? And then the whole like the big punchline. First of all, what 43-year-old American has never had Mexican food? But like the whole like the
That
big
lives in the
overlying
Bronx.
yeah. The big overlying joke is that Jill has Mexican food and then just
Gets
rushes to the
diarrhea.
bathroom. And it's like, this is the most tired hack. Like, come on.
I wrote the exact same thing, that this is a tired stereotype. Yeah. I didn't have any laugh out loud moments from that.
Yeah. I mean, that just kind of made me mad. I don't know. I felt like,
It was offensive for sure. I laughed at the homeless guy when they chased Jill into the woods because she went running out for some reason, and everybody leaves and it's just Adam Sandler there, and the homeless guy is in the woods and he says, hang in there, brother, she's only here until Sunday. I laughed at Jill knocking herself out with the big wheel on The Price is Right.
Okay. I don't know. I just feel like I mean, that was an example of like, there's a bunch of slapsticky moments that I'm just like, all right, whatever. I don't know. I didn't. Okay.
I liked in the
Before you
car.
Before you keep going, how many drinks did you have?
None.
No.
Oh, wait,
we were
I
together earlier that day. You definitely had half a
did.
bottle of wine.
I did have
At least.
3 glasses of wine, I think, at least.
Yeah.
Before I watched this. So
Okay.
maybe I was in the right headspace.
Yeah. Do you think that contributed?
Absolutely not. I'm a professional.
Okay. All right. Keep going.
I liked when he was in the car with Jill and she kept like dropping hints that she was going to stay longer. And she said, we'll sit and talk about it on New Year's. And he just immediately launched the car into a spin.
I didn't understand what was happening there. I'm like, what? Like, anyway.
I think this movie might be a bit too highbrow for you.
Maybe. Yeah. I think I mean, I guess it's fine to admit that, or I should admit at this point, that I like some Adam Sandler movies, but I don't think I love his best movies in the same way that others do.
That's fair.
I think my favorite, I mean, this is going to sound really pretentious, but my favorite Adam Sandler movies is actually where he's a dramatic actor. Punch Drunk Love, Uncut Gems.
That's so brave of you.
Yeah.
So brave.
All right. What else did you find funny?
Speaking of highbrow comedy, when they had Subway Jared in the movie,
I was going to ask you, there are a ton of cameos. I was going to ask you best cameo and worst cameo.
I feel like Subway Jared has got to be worst cameo.
I mean, that's got to be worst cameo in a movie that I've seen, period.
Ever. Yeah. I was like, this is so good in the worst way possible.
I mean, he had multiple speaking lines, and I was just like, oh, this is this guy. I do not feel comfortable watching him on camera.
I know it was hard, but I loved when Jill said, I miss the old Jared, the 400-pound Jared that scared us.
I mean, you know, this is a bit of a tangent, but I would hands down read a book about the aftermath of Subway Jared and what happened in Subway marketing as that story unfolded. Like just
Uh-huh.
all the chaos of how they try to like react and clean that up and all the running around and chaos.
Good thing you didn't want to come across as pretentious. I would
uh,
rather sit and read a book about this.
I mean, I did say I'd rather. Well, yes, I would rather. I would rather read any book than watch this movie again. Oh my gosh! All right, keep going. What? Okay, so worst cameo. What was the best cameo for you?
David Spade is the woman from their high school at the end.
Wrong answer.
Wait, I could be swayed. There were a lot of good cameos in
He.
this.
I mean, that wasn't even a cameo. He had a part. He was nominated. Maybe he won one of the Razzies for best
Good for
supporting
him.
actor.
I hope he showed up to accept it in person.
I thought the best cameo was Shaq. He was wearing this weird wig, licking a ham, doing some commercial.
Yeah, I could see that. That was a good one.
That was my favorite, and he was hamming it up. No pun intended.
The next part I laughed at was when there was the little mix up where Jack was cross dressing as Jill to fool Al Pacino. He goes into the restroom dressed as a man and comes out dressed as a woman, and there's a bathroom attendant who like recognizes that this is a man dressing as a woman, and so adjusted Jack's breasts before he left. And then later in the movie, he comes across the real Jill, thinking that it's Jack dressed as a woman, and adjusts Jill's breasts. She punches him through the bathroom door and says, I mean, come on. Huh?
Yeah. I mean, did I laugh? No, but
What?
I could tell it was a joke.
That wasn't funny at all.
Not to over dissect it, but the whole setup took like a minute and you could just see it a mile coming. I'm like, this guy thinks that's Jack and he's going to touch her breasts. So, yeah, by the time it happens, it's like, yep, saw that coming. And then, and then this is yet another time where they're like, oh, Jill is super strong. And it's like, really? She doesn't, she's not that like, beefed up. I mean, there's a whole scene like a few minutes earlier where she's powerlifting casually and like these really and it's just like, what the joke is that she's really strong because it's actually a man, Adam Sandler, in there. But why would she be like so much stronger than these powerlifters who, I don't know.
Because Adam Sandler is stronger than those powerlifters.
Than the average man. Yeah, I don't know. I was just like, okay, whatever. Saw the joke coming and it didn't, I don't know, the cartoonish nature of him being punched through the door. I was just like, yeah. Did you laugh during the jump rope scene?
No, I don't think so.
Like they're on this cruise ship and some people are playing jump rope, and I guess part of their backstory is they were professional jump ropers when they were kids. And
that's what you do in the Bronx.
And it like cuts to these stunt doubles and there's like really bad CGI of them jump roping.
I paused that and re-showed it to John. I'm like, neither one of those people were Adam Sandler.
Yeah, not even close. And then all these people on the cruise ship deck are like coming over and watching and clapping, and I'm just like, it seemed like it was set up like it was a big scene and it was supposed to mean something, and I'm like, what is this set piece? I don't know.
I didn't get it either. They can't all be bangers.
I guess not. How many are we on your list?
That was 7, and then the last one that I really laughed out loud was the burn this at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Which I felt was the perfect recap of what we just watched, that no human alive should view that.
I mean, when you say that, are you saying about the commercial or about the movie itself?
Both, but like the commercial itself was horrible, and I thought that they were gonna leave it in as like, look at how quirky it is that we had Al Pacino do this for this movie. Yeah. But then they followed it up with burn this. That's like the worst thing ever. And I was like, okay, so they know that it was really stupid.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll laugh in retrospect if that line was about the movie itself, because I felt like the movie was as bad as the commercial inside the movie in terms of what I just witnessed.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that Adam Sandler knew that he wasn't making like high film.
Of course. He said, like, he's just like, I'm phoning this in so
Which
I can
makes it
go
funny to me.
hang out on a cruise ship and make tens of millions of dollars. But
That's
like,
what makes it funny to me.
why do I have to waste my $12 ticket and an
Well,
hour and a half of my life to fund Adam Sandler's Vacation? It's offensive.
yeah, I mean, I think I wouldn't have been happy if I paid full ticket price for this and went to see it in theaters, but renting it 15 years later or whatever, I was like, okay, this was funny. What'd you think of Katie Holmes' character?
I felt like she was cast to just look pretty and stand on the sidelines and occasionally, I don't know, say a line that moves the plot along.
I thought that she was one of the shallowest characters I've seen in a movie in a long time.
I didn't really understand the role of the whole family. Like the daughter didn't even really come into play much at all. But
Yeah.
I even just now had to. I just got confused and I was like, wait, I remember the son, and I think he had two kids, right? Like I don't even really remember the daughter. But yeah, he had a daughter. I don't remember anything that she did,
Uh,
except that throughout the movie, I mean, one of my big questions is like, why does he hate Jill? His family constantly is saying how much they love Jill
yeah.
and they want her to stay. And Jill's really great with the kids and helping out and all that stuff. And he's just like such an asshole towards his sister. But yeah, I don't know. The family really had nothing to do other than just, I don't know. Yeah, nothing to
I
do
think
other than stand by the side.
I think he hated Jill because he moved to LA and tried to distance himself from who he was before. Like Jill said at some point in the movie, you act like your life started when you moved to LA. And so I think that he sees Jill as like his previous self.
Why did he hate his previous self? What is different about him? What is I don't know. I mean,
Well,
I'm not even gonna try to
he's a big shot entertainment executive now,
I
not just some kid from the Bronx.
I refuse to spend more time analyzing the why of this movie than they spent writing it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Um, there were so many other like things. I mean, you rattled through a bunch of things that I just thought were terrible and funny. But a couple special things I'll call out. 30 minutes into the movie, we get flashbacks to earlier in the movie. I'm like, do you think we're brain dead that we forgot all
It
these
was
moments?
ahead of its time. They saw the incoming attention span crisis.
What was the climax of the movie at the bar? Jack and Jill start talking gibberish to each other, and this crowd at the bar gathers around watching and tearing up. If that
Yeah.
happened in real life, you would be like, what the hell? Like,
So
these two people are having a stroke.
to explain, they have a childhood language that they created for each other that only they understand, and they call each other Pokey and Pagogo. And the entire climax of this movie was them having a heartfelt moment with each other in a language that nobody understands.
I mean, nobody in that scene, except maybe Katie Holmes' character, knew that they had this childhood language. So you're not just like watching them and being like, oh, it's so sweet. They're using these are all strangers hearing gibberish and tearing up. Like,
You had to assume that you were watching them both die in front of you. This was brain death, and maybe
Yeah.
that's why they were tearing up.
oh, that does remind me. I will give you don't think I had another internal chuckle. There is a running gag where Al Pacino speaks gibberish to his French servant and his Italian servant, but he doesn't actually know the language. And I did think that was kind of funny.
Yeah. So you're coming around on it already.
It's a stretch.
This is going to become a holiday tradition for you every year, is that you watch Jack and Jill with your family.
I hope I never watch another minute of this movie again. There's so many more movies.
Actually, brain death might actually be a good way to describe this entire.
I did enjoy the line delivery from Al Pacino I can smell horny across an ocean.
Yeah. I'm telling you, he was cooking this movie. He was eating up every scene he was in.
I mean, he was. It's just the material was. Yeah, I don't know. After that post Mexican food bathroom scene,
Yeah.
Jill immediately comes out of the bathroom without wiping or washing her hands.
Yeah. Well, they don't have time. This movie is jam packed with jokes. They didn't have time to show Jill washing her hands.
I feel like hygiene is essential in all situations, especially after we have to sit through 3 minutes of hearing fart noises
Yeah,
coming
I
out of the
knew you
bathroom.
were going to hate that scene. It was
I mean,
nothing but fart jokes for like 5 minutes, and it was racist fart jokes about
yeah, if you
Mexican
enjoy
food.
fart jokes and racist stereotypes, then this is the movie for you.
Yeah, I didn't think you'd like that one. I thought that Nick Swardson and Tim Meadows were funny. They played like Jack's, what were they, like coworkers, assistants? I don't know what they were, but they were funny.
I don't remember a single thing Tim Meadows did. I mean, I like him, but I don't remember a single joke.
I didn't write one down, but I remember thinking they were funny. I liked the scene where they were out for dinner somewhere and Jill went into the coat room and Al Pacino's just lounging in there in a leather chair waiting for her.
Yeah. I mean, he did do that.
Yeah. I think that you didn't get this one. That's okay. You can't get them all.
I didn't. And I'm trying to think of a nice way to say this, but I almost wrote down like who likes this movie, and now I have to rethink that. I really hated this so much that I was like, I don't believe there's a single person on the planet that I don't even think Adam Sandler laughed at this movie, and I guess it does. I don't understand it, but I am grateful that you found joy in it and you laughed. Yeah, I mean, I'm glad it wasn't a completely worthless endeavor.
You did say that you wouldn't let me stop doing this podcast until I watched this movie. Like it was going to be some form of punishment. And I sat through it and I was like, Ade was completely wrong about this movie.
Yeah, I mean, you said something to me and I was just like, if you quit this podcast and like I've already watched this, like there's no like I'm not going down like that. I'm not going through the torture without you being there in the trenches with me.
And I
yeah,
had a fucking great time.
Well, yeah, I guess we just have different tastes in comedy.
Yep, that's fair.
I think we kind of knew that.
Yeah, comedy is hard.
Back. Yeah,
I mean, I love a good fart joke or a slapstick pratfall. I love simple, stupid humor.
And probably the movie I've laughed hardest at in the last year is Friendship, and you didn't like that at all.
No, I did not like Friendship at all.
I mean, we can probably agree that a bad comedy.
Like Tim Robinson.
Yeah, a bad comedy is worse than a bad drama. Like,
oh yeah,
if it's just a whiff in a comedy and you're just not laughing throughout, it's just a miserable experience.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah, if it's not your humor, it's excruciating.
Excruciating is the right word.
Alt picks.
What are your alt picks on this movie?
I picked Murder Mystery, the Netflix movie with Adam Sandler and Jennifer Aniston. Watched it on a whim, not expecting to like it, and I liked it more than I thought I would. So I guess I had very low expectations going in.
Yeah.
So I don't know. If you like this movie, you might like that one too.
I mean, hopefully you forgive me in completely ignoring your alt pick recommendation here.
That's fair.
I don't think I'll be watching that anytime soon. Might I recommend my alt pick, Reign Over Me, starring Adam Sandler? Have you seen that?
Yes.
Where his
everybody's seen it. We all know he can act.
It was not a very successful movie. It didn't do very well at the box office. But yes, I mean, as I mentioned earlier, this is my favorite form of Adam Sandler, where he plays a depressed man whose family was killed in the September 11 attacks. Couldn't be more opposite in tone from Jack and Jill.
We're all
how
very
about
impressed.
I mean, I'm not. I like some down to earth movies. I'm not. It's not like
Name
I'm
one.
recommending some like 1940s Italian, indie cinema thing.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right, my other alt pick was going to be adaptation. I was just trying to think of twins. Nicolas Cage playing twins. I mean, that was a good movie.
Yeah.
You're not taking it.
No.
All right. Fair enough. I'm just too
It's okay. We've covered the highbrow and the lowbrow. So everybody can get something out of this.
okay. Fair enough. Well, anything else you have to say about Jack and Jill?
No. That's all I got.
If you liked this movie and want to defend it, or if you hated this movie and want to give me a little bit more ammo, send us an email at theworstmoviepodcast@gmail.com. Please subscribe on Apple or Spotify or wherever you listen to podcasts. I'm Ade.
I'm Aaron. Thanks for listening to the Worst Movie Podcast.